Malaysia's nuclear energy journey began half a century ago. Back then, it was largely research-driven. The shift towards nuclear power planning came in early 2011. But public concerns after the Fukushima nuclear disaster and a change in government in 2018 led to the plan being shelved. Now, the government is reactivating the plan, with preparations underway to explore small modular reactors in remote places on the peninsula.
We have made public announcement that nuclear is one of the options we're looking at. But of course, when it comes to nuclear, we have to go into all the details, working with internationals to get endorsement, to sign all the agreements, and more importantly is to engage the public.
Now, currently, Malaysia has ratified half of the 16 internationally required documents. Now, the government is also in the midst of amending the Atomic Energy Licensing Act to comply with standards required under the IAEA, or International Atomic Energy Agency. But getting the public support will probably be the toughest.
Fukushima. These have actually left lasting impressions on Malaysians, and they have legitimate doubts of whether we are ready to manage, such a complex and high-risk technology. I think it would still be difficult to convince the public because, again, it's a question of safety, transparency, and of course, at the end of the day, the waste disposal. Where is the waste going to be kept?
If we are pushing for the ambition of having a net zero by 2050, we should push for a direct transition towards renewable energy, such as solar and wind, and a total phase out of fossil fuel.
But there are limitations to renewable resources.
We can't use solar and wind as baseload because they are intermittent. Like it or not, we have to see nuclear power as an option. Otherwise, we could not fulfill the net zero emission. But besides that, we also could not cope with the energy demand, which is getting increasingly important, especially more investors coming in, including data center, of course. Data centers also, energy consumption is very high.
Malaysia has recently signed an MOU with the US on civil nuclear energy cooperation and pledged to explore a small modular reactor with Russia. Competition is also heating up across the region, with more countries looking at nuclear power to beef up their energy security.
There has been a sea change in terms of policy. Bangladesh is constructing 2 reactors right now, and the first unit is nearly complete, and we expect the first unit to start operation by the end of this year. And recently this year, Vietnam have declared their intention is to have the 2 unit up and running by 2030. And the other countries in Southeast Asia is both Philippines and Indonesia have plans for nuclear energy.
Malaysia currently has 30 skilled workers in the nuclear industry, and it will need to increase its workforce by at least 10-fold if the country intends to include nuclear power in its energy mix by 2035. Melissa Goh, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.